The galactic research station Kepler-7 floated in the void between stars, a monument to interspecies cooperation. Within its sterile corridors, the greatest minds of 100 worlds worked to unravel the mysteries of the universe. But in Lab Section 14C, something far more mundane was taking place. Maya pushed the mop across the polished floor with steady, rhythmic strokes. The chemical smell of disinfectant hung in the air, mixing with the faint ozone scent that always lingered near the quantum containment units. She worked in silence, her movements efficient and practiced. This was her 4th hour of the night shift, and she had 3 more sections to clean before dawn cycle. No one paid attention to the human janitor. Not the Velcrin researchers hunched over their data screens, their crystalline exoskeletons refracting the blue light. Not the Thume engineers calibrating gravitational sensors with their 4-fingered hands. Certainly not the Zethen Council members who swept through the corridors with an air of importance, their chitinous frames clicking against the floor. Maya didn't mind. She preferred the invisibility. It made the work simpler. Then came the sound, a soft chirp, high-pitched and curious. She paused mid-stroke and looked down. A pair of golden eyes stared up at her from beneath a laboratory bench. The creature was small, no larger than a house cat, with fur that shimmered between gray and silver depending on the light. A Velcrin cub barely 3 months out of the nursery pod. "Hey there," Maya whispered, crouching down. "You're not supposed to be here." The cub, Rock, according to the name tag on his tiny collar, tilted his head. His whiskers twitched. Then his eyes locked onto the mop head, still dripping with cleaning solution. Maya stood and resumed her work. The mop swished left, then right. Rock's pupils dilated. In a burst of movement, the cub pounced. His small paws batted at the white strands of the mop, tiny claws snagging the fibers. He rolled onto his back, wrestling with it as though it were prey. Maya couldn't help but smile. "Really?" She lifted the mop, and Rock's gaze followed it upward, his whole body tensing. When she moved it to the left, he scampered after it. When she swept it right, he lunged, skidding across the freshly cleaned floor. "You're going to get me in trouble," Maya muttered, but she didn't stop. Instead, she made the mop dance, figure 8, circles, zigzags. Rock chased it with single-minded determination, chirping with excitement. From across the lab, one of the Velcrin researchers looked up. Her name was Jara, a senior xenobiologist who had spent decades studying predator-prey dynamics across the galaxy. She watched the scene unfold with growing interest. Humans were still a curiosity in the Galactic Council. They had only joined 27 years ago, and much about them remained poorly understood. They were classified as a mid-tier intelligent species, resourceful, adaptable, but not exceptional in any particular field. They had no crystalline computing organs like the Velcrin, no hive-mind coordination like the Thume, no natural armor like the Gathan. What they did have, Jara had learned, was something harder to quantify. She moved closer, her movements silent. Maya didn't notice. The human was too focused on the cub, guiding the mop in patterns that kept Rock engaged but never frustrated. The cub would pounce, miss, regroup, and pounce again. Each time, Maya adjusted the difficulty just enough to keep him challenged. It was play. Simple, purposeful play. Jara felt a tremor of understanding ripple through her neural matrix. Among the Velcrin, cubs were raised in isolation until they reached cognitive maturity. Play was considered inefficient, a waste of developmental resources. Cubs learned through neural downloads, data streams fed directly into their forming minds. But this human, this lowly janitor, was teaching Rock something the data streams never could. Persistence, joy, the thrill of the chase not for survival, but for the sake of the game itself. "Maya," Jara said softly. The human jumped, spinning around. "Dr. Jara!" "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. He just appeared and I—" "Do not apologize." Jara's translator implant rendered her words with unusual warmth. "Continue." Maya hesitated, then resumed mopping. Rock immediately resumed his attack, chirping louder now, emboldened by the audience. "How did you know to do this?" Jara asked. "Do what?" "Engage him at precisely the correct level of difficulty." "Not too easy." "Not too hard," Maya shrugged. "I don't know. It's just play? You watch, you adjust. If he seems bored, you make it harder. If he seems frustrated, you make it easier. It's not complicated, but it was." Jara's mind raced through the implications. This was adaptive learning through social interaction, real-time behavioral modification based on emotional feedback. The human was processing dozens of microsignals from the cub's body language, adjusting her strategy on the fly. No computer could replicate this. No neural download could teach it. Your species does this naturally, Jara asked, I guess. I mean, anyone who's played with a kid or a pet knows how it works. A kid. A pet. The casual way Maya said it belied the profound truth beneath. Humans played. They played with their young, with their animals, with each other. It wasn't training. It wasn't data transfer. It was something older, something woven into their evolutionary fabric. Jara watched as Rock finally caught the mop head, his tiny jaws clamping down on the fibers. Maya let him have his victory, laughing as the cub shook his prize triumphantly. Then she gently extracted the mop and offered him a clean rag instead. Rock accepted it, padding away to his corner to kill his new toy. Your species was nearly destroyed 17 times before achieving spaceflight, Jara said quietly. Ice ages, volcanic winters, predators, disease. Yet you survived. Maya nodded. Yeah, history wasn't kind to us. I believe I understand why. Jara gestured to where Rock lay, contentedly gnawing his rag. You do not merely survive. You find joy in the struggle. You turn hardship into play. And through that play you teach the next generation to do the same. Maya looked down at her mop, then back at the Velcrin scientist. I'm just cleaning floors, Dr. Jara. No, Jara said. You are doing what your species has always done. You are turning the mundane into meaning, the struggle into a game. And that, Maya, is why humanity will outlast us all. Maya didn't know how to respond to that, so she simply smiled and returned to her work. Behind her, Rock chirped one more time, ready for another round. And across the Galactic Research Station, in labs and corridors, on ships and stations, humans went about their quiet work, cleaning, building, playing, surviving. Humanity, in its own strange way, continued to thrive.